there folks, this is Photosynthesis right here. I don't know if you are familiar with this game at all or not, but it is absolutely a beautiful game, one that's really cool. Got some awesome pieces with all of these trees, so hopefully you can see a little bit of these trees out here. They are these nice three-dimensional trees. You've got three different sizes, 1, 2, and 3 is basically their point value throughout the game, and so as you're counting up your sun points, which you use to spend on other things, small trees are worth 1, medium trees are worth 2, and large trees are worth 3. And it's nice and simple, a lot of the game in that aspect. But basically what you're trying to do, really unique mechanics in this game as well, but you have all these trees you're putting on the board and you're trying to accumulate points as the sun is coming and hitting, and the sun is going to rotate around the board, so you're thinking ahead obviously, but then you can play strategically to a point where maybe you put a tree in front of someone else where it'll be next turn, and it actually will block the sun from the trees behind it. So depending on the size, it's going to block it, or maybe it's not depending on the size, 1, 2, or 3 spaces. So a small tree is going to block 1 space behind it, a medium tree is going to block 2 spaces behind it, and a large tree is going to block 3 spaces behind it. So really interesting element to the game there, where you're trying to play this strategic game where you are putting your trees in different locations to obviously be advantageous to yourself and disadvantageous not good for the people you're playing against. So it is a game that looks like it's gonna be not a game that would make people upset, but absolutely it is a game that could make people upset. There's some people that play just to be mean. It happens, and I don't like that about this game, but it tends to happen. It tends to happen much, much more when you play with more people. If you're playing a 2-player game, for instance, obviously there's the same amount of spaces. If you're playing with 4 people, then there's like twice as many trees total on the board, and it just happens. So you got to know that about the game. It can be a game where you just feel like you're getting crushed and you're not having much a go of the game, that kind of thing. But overall, really interesting game. You're going to plant seeds, you're going to upgrade your trees. When you get that largest tree out there, the way you get points and win the game is by uprooting that tree basically, and whichever section it's in, the very middle space is worth more, and then the ring around that is worth second most, and there's 2 more rings out around that. So strategy, a lot of strategy options for this game within what you're going to do and all of that, but really nice game. That is Photosynthesis right there. Fairly simple and straightforward to get into, but definitely has a lot of depth with the strategy of thinking ahead and that kind of thing. So that is Photosynthesis. Hopefully that gives you a nice little touch and a taste of this game, what it is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you.